Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness, I'm a little short there. Look at that. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. My name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer. And it is the end of our week, middle of our day somewhere. Maybe you're at home, just gotten off work. Maybe you're still at work, hanging out, whatever it is. Hey. How's it going? Did you miss a video about the Kraken Barbarian last week? No, you did not miss a video about that. That is because I was in Atlanta last week filming for Kobold Con, which did mean that I sadly missed. So these are actually sorry, hold on. I'm going to finish my thought and then I'm going to answer my question, your question. I got distracted. ADHD. Sucks sometimes because I was recording for Kobold Con, as we're going to talk about this later today. Kobold Con's like 2 weeks away. It's actually 14 days away. Starting on March 27th, our annual convention to celebrate Kobold Press just in general, but specifically this year, we are celebrating our 20th anniversary. Look at that. Kobold Press is no longer a teenager. Kobold Press is a young adult. No longer a teenager, just a young adult. Can't drink yet. No ales at the tavern, but we can drive, we can vote, and we have been given a certain amount of responsibility that is kind of signaling for us. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, man. Life is changing for me, which is actually kind of funny because I turned 30 yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, and so I'm like the same month as Kobold Press, which feels nice and tidy for me. But lots to talk about. Thank you so much. Lots to talk about today because, as we said, we're gearing up for Kobold Con, and to answer your question, unknown. We are also going to talk about the Kraken Barbarian today because Mako is my favorite of the new Valiant 6, partially because I think she's just cool. I mean, we'll see her design. She's just cool. But also the Kraken Barbarian as a subclass is tasty, I think. Thank you, everybody. Kenbold Jake. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. In fact, you were talking about Pokemon, actually. You were saying, who's that Pokemon because of the thumbnail. And my partner actually got me this old Gengar. Look at this. He's so cute. I love him. It's been a long time since I've had a Pokemon plushie. Not since I was a kid. So, I don't know. He'll sit with me here on the desk. Yeah. But enough about Pokemon and enough about what we're going to be talking about. Let's just talk about it. Come on over here. Jiro, let's talk about it. So, hey, just like I mentioned earlier, it is the 20th anniversary of Kobold Press, coming like in a couple of days now. So, to celebrate all month, all of March, we are doing our Kobold Press anniversary sale. If you're on YouTube, you can find it already in the description, but I'm also just going to drop it in here for you. So you can go and see, because we have 20% off, or sorry, not 20% off. We have 50% off of some things I think are pretty cool. So starting on March 4th, we unlocked Era 1, because this is broken up into the 4 eras of Kobold Press. Our early era, all the way back in 2006 when Kobold Press first started. That's when we were doing the first Kobold Guide to Game Design. You get Tales of Zobek, Sunken Empires, and Northlands, a mixture of 3rd edition D&D and Pathfinder. That's back during our Pathfinder era. And then also there's the Kobold Quarterly, which was as you might imagine, a quarterly online magazine where you could get all sorts of different things, similar to other classic RPG magazines during the time, where you get some supplemental material, you get some adventures, and you get like essays and stuff like that. It's 5 years of Kobold Quarterly you can get for less than $50, because it's usually around $94. And so, hey, that's 5 years worth of magazines. Come on. And so the 20th anniversary is covering, so this part of it is covering like this portion of Kobold Press history at 50% off. And then we get into era 2 of Kobold Press, and this is like big, like, I'm pretty sure this is like Warlock era. And we're still doing like some Pathfinder. We also get a little into Call of Cthulhu. Like, this is classic Kobold Press. And so you get 50% off of the first Deep Magic PDF for 13th Age. You get a Dark Deeds in Freeport for the Pathfinder RPG. And then you get this might be the first, I might be wrong, but this might be the first Midgard campaign setting for use with Pathfinder, as well as the Midgard Bestiary, also for Pathfinder, and then our Call of Cthulhu adventure, the Red Eye Azathoth. The Red Eye of Azathoth. I was reading the cover, and the of is like incredibly small on it, and so it was a little hard to see. But hey, when you open it up here, you can see it's also really tiny, but you can see it right there as well. This is like classic, to me, classic era Kobold Press, where we have dipped our hands in like a lot of different games. Call of Cthulhu, Pathfinder, third edition D&D, and like really you can see like we're stretching our legs a little bit and just really making some kind of what feels now like, I don't know, if Kobold Press today came out with a Pathfinder or even a Call of Cthulhu supplement, I would be like, whoa, that's sick. It like that feels like a stretch. But this was just our bread and butter back then. And so coming next week, on March 18th, we will get into Era 3. This is going to be that 2016 through 2020, when we really start digging into 5th edition, because, 5th edition is out. And you can start seeing like the shape that Kobold Press has now, especially when it comes to designing for 5th edition and really like narrowing down who we want to be and what we want to be doing in a way that I think is super cool. Where's the Kobold Press 20th birthday cake t-shirt? Ooh, that is a good idea. I don't remember if that's already happening. I'm going to ping Dot about it so we can make it happen if so. You should see KP birthdays for $5. Ooh, hey. These are good ideas that maybe should go in the Discord, because if you yell enough in the Discord, things move and things shake. So yeah, this is, so you'll get 50% off of all of these. And then March 25th, the week of Kobold Con, is Era 4, the current era of Tales of the Valiant, but also Necromancer, and also Riverbank, and also who knows what else in the future. I'm looking forward to the future. It feels good to me. So that is everything about the Kobold Press 20th anniversary sale. You can go to that link that I sent you in there. It's also in the description of the YouTube stream, and you can check that out. Next up, let's talk about Kobold Con. Kobold Con is coming up at the... Sorry if you could hear that. That was my water bottle. I'm going to take a drink. Okay. Kobold Con is March 27th. It's the end of this month. The last weekend of the month. If you go to koboldpress.com/kobold-con 2026, I'm putting the link. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about it. I got you. But you can come here and you can see, oh, this is when Kobold Con is launching. There's going to be a stream here that you can watch either here, but you can also watch on Twitch and YouTube. And also on this site, you can see the schedule that we have for the entire weekend, including all of our organized play, which, hey, if you haven't already signed up for organized play, you can go do that now. You can, like literally on the site that I just sent you, it's also on the thing in the description, you can go click this to go sign up and play, and it'll take you to a site where you can choose what game, at what time, and when you want to be doing it. Because we like making things easy for you. So that work plays over on Discord, and then you can also see the different games that we're doing. We are running Well of Shadows, our free our free RPG day game from 2025. You also get to see Progeny of Blood, a Night Hunters adventure, as well as Mossback Raiders, a Northlands adventure, and The King's Birthday Cake, a Riverbank adventure. If you are looking for something to do this weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend of the 27th, Kobold Con is where it's going to be at, gang. It is a weekend of friends and fun and celebration. You're going to get to know about some of the things coming up from Kobold Press, including future crowdfunding things. You're going to learn about the conventions that we're going to be at, and you're also going to see a bunch of panels of Kobold Press staff, some of our writers talking about the things that they make and the things that we love. Hopefully to give you a little bit of insight of what's going on here, but also so... I don't know. I think my goal when it comes to paneling, since paneling is primarily what I do around conventions, is I want to make sure that we're giving you all something of value, right? Something that maybe inspires you to go out and make something, or demystify the process in any way. Either so you can just enjoy the games more, but also I think to give you a sense of what it's like being someone who makes it. And so maybe you can imagine yourself as someone who makes it. Because I think that's what Kobold Press is best at, in inspiring people and game masters, players, of what is it that you can do and how good can you do it. So that's Kobold Con. I'm incredibly excited about it. A whole weekend long. And also, obviously, we will be raising money for charity, as we are wont to do for Kobold Con. And I don't remember if we have already announced that. It doesn't look like we have. So I'm not going to say exactly who it is, but it actually might just be in here. No, it's not in here yet. So I'm not going to say it quite yet because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to, but it is tabletop RPG related, as always. So that is that on Kobold Con, and I hope to see you all that weekend. I'm incredibly excited. I've got a lot of editing that I need to do to get the Kobold Showcase ready and make sure all of our panels and games and live streams are going to be good. But I'm incredibly excited, as I am every year, because Kobold Con is always a blast. Now, before we get into talking about our new Valiant 6, you all might have seen we've been talking about it because emails have gone out and it's ready to start preparing for it. The next campaign builder, Pirates and Plunder. This is the moment that they told us. The moment that they told us that this was something that we were going to have to start prepping for, like last year, I was so excited about it. I love pirates, and especially I don't know. I'm not going to get into all my feelings about pirates right now. We could talk about it when Pirates and Plunder is happening, and you are going to hear it in the scouting party. But Pirates and Plunder, the next campaign builder, is coming in April, not April. That's nothing. That's nothing. Shanty Bard, Shipwright Mechanist, yeah, like it is. You are going to get everything that you expect from a campaign builder, right? You're getting new subclasses, I'm just in general. You're getting new character options, right? New subclasses, backgrounds, talents, things of that nature. It's built for Tales of the Valiant and 5th edition, so you can expect all of those things. You might be getting some lineages. I'm unsure of those things. I haven't done the scouting party yet. I'm incredibly excited to do so. But you're also going to get all of the other stuff, right? You're going to get rules for naval combat, stuff for ships and building ships, and you're getting a ship character sheet. It's everything that you need to go on that swashbuckling, booty stealing, or whatever it is that you like about being out on the open seas, searching for treasure, fighting the Navy, whatever it is. Pirates and Plunder. This is for you. It's going to be so fun. And I'm going from Kobold Con right into Pirates and Plunder. It's like all of the good stuff. We went from Night Hunters to Kobold Con to Pirates and Plunder. Like, this has been my year so far. Everything here was made for me specifically. You all just also get to have a little bit of it, which I so gracefully allow you to, because we can all be on this ship, baby. So go on over to Kickstarter, hit that get saved to get notified so that you can be one of the first people ready to get Pirates and Plunder. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so we have to do the new Valiant 6 and talk about our good boy, our very good boy, Silent Sky, the Arrowbinder Ranger. When I first saw all 6 of the new ones, when I got to see the art, there were 3 of them that immediately stood out to me as like, oh, I think I like you. Oh, I think I like you a lot. It was Mako, our Kraken Barbarian. It was, oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. The Bard, the Halfling Bard, because I love a Bard. And he's also black, and I love that. And then our good boy here, Silent Sky, the beastkin Arrowbinder Ranger. He looks so cool. Every CD builder, I'm like, who needs this book? And then we start chatting it up, and I have to have it. This one's called Pirates and Plunder, and I immediately have to have it. Yes, you do. We all need it. Oh my god, I love pirates so much. I don't think you understand. I'm so excited for it. Okay, so this is Silent Sky, the Beastkin Ranger. Obviously, he's a beastkin. He looks like a kind of puma, feline. Maybe he's got more of a mane under there. Who's to say? Kind of beastkin. He is the Arrowbinder subclass, which is one of the new subclasses from Player's Guide 2. He is the Slayer heritage and also the Investigator background. And I think the Investigator is also a Player's Guide 2 one. Looks like I need to make a new Valiant 6 tokens for Gen Con. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Me with if the Kraken Barbarian has a high wisdom, then he would be a wise Kraken Barbarian. So true. You're not wrong. Dungeons until character options. Oh yeah, the character options in Dungeons and Ruins are great. Ooh, Mountain Lion. That makes a lot of sense. Mountain Lion makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, because I didn't know that. Oh, the tales of sand and scales. I don't know why my brain mixed scanned and sales. The tales of scanned and sales. No, but this is a 5e D&D bundle that we're doing with a drive-through RPG where you can go get some of it's basically like a mixture of stuff of like monsters and dragons and like mummies and stuff. So you get City of Cats, Southland's Player's Guide and the World Book, and then also you get the Vault of Magic and Tome of Beasts 2. So that's that for you. But let's talk about Silent Sky. Was that longbow? Yeah, I know, it's gorgeous, right? Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, maybe make that a little easier for you all to read as well. Let's do this. Silent Sky was orphaned at a young age when his clowder of mountain lion beastkin was slain by poachers on the family's hunting grounds. He escaped by taking to the trees to evade the arrows of the poachers and recovered one of their bows. Devastated by the death of his parents and siblings, he promised himself that he would hunt down the poachers and exact justice against them. In the early days afterward, the young beastkin led a solitary life, hunting with the bow and training himself to track prey. He studied tracks, observed patterns, and pieced together habits and behaviors of the creatures he followed. Eventually, he took up tracking sentient beings, testing himself against their more unusual activities. He began to understand just how cunning and deceptive members of civilized places could be. In his quest to understand them better, though, he began to lose his own identity, growing more feral as the years went by. During one particularly tricky hunt, he met his first mentor. He first met his mentor. While practicing his skills, he discovered his quarry, a female elf, was just as adept at slipping away from him as he was at keeping up with most everyone else. For several days, the two played a game of cat and mouse until at least he believed he was creeping up on her unawares. Just before he dropped from the branches of a tree overhead, the elf spoke to him. "You must like the sky an awful lot, for the amount of time you spend up there next to it, and you are almost as silent as the clouds. I am Alencia Longfingers. Who are you, and why are you hunting me?" The beastkin didn't know how to respond and nearly fled, yet something about Alencia drew him in. He spoke his first words in a very long time when he admitted he couldn't remember his name. "Then Silent Sky you shall be," Alencia replied. Introductions over Silent Sky and Alencia began to prowl the woods together. Alencia was a ranger, and she taught him magic, particularly how to imbue his weapons with spells. Silent Sky shared what he remembered of his past and the vow he had made to find the poachers. Alencia was herself a bounty hunter and introduced Silent Sky to the rest of the world. She showed him how to earn coin by tracking down criminals and helped him further hone his skills. Eventually, Alencia told Silent Sky he knew what he needed to hunt down his nemesis and bade him to continue his quest of revenge and justice. She promised to return to find him someday, but she had a long journey of her own to make, and they parted company. Now, Silent Sky follows the clues as he uncovers them, intent on fulfilling his promise. For the moment, he's taken up with a band of honorable adventurers, the Valiant Six, and serves as their tracker and master marksman. Silent Sky, you're one cool dude. That's one cool dude. Very excited to get to, is that a bow in the Southlands or something else in the bundle? I think the bow just might be a longbow. It's just really cool looking. I don't think it's a special kind of longbow. I could be wrong, but I think we will find out in the player character sheet. There we go. The character sheet for Silent Sky come Kobold Con, when all of the Valiant 6 character sheets will be released for play all weekend and beyond, of course. So, now that we know who Silent Sky is, let's figure out what Silent Sky does. It tells us that he is a Shadowbinder Ranger. So we can see in the subclasses, let's, on page 51. Oh, hold on, it's loading. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Come on. Ah, the PDF. Don't tell me this PDF crashed. Come on. Come on. What are you doing to me? Adobe? Hello? Hello? It crashed. It didn't want to share its secrets. Oh, there we go. I was muted. There we go. Now you might be able to hear me. Let's see. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Did the PDF exploding get fixed at all? The PDF did explode, gang. I can hear myself now. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right. Sorry, it's going to take a while for me to catch up. I had just based on that. But hey, welcome back, everybody. That PDF blew up, and then my computer was very upset about that for a second. But we're going to keep going. Okay, cool. So based on what Silent Sky is, he is a Shadowbinder Ranger. So we're going to go and take a look at the Ranger changes. So as we talked about in the previous one, unlike the other ones where there was like a full class and everything, there aren't full class changes, but there are some class additions, including more heroic and epic boons, which you might remember as additional options that you get at both level 10 for heroic and level 20 for epic boons. And when you got to 10th and 10th into 20th level, you essentially got to choose from a set of options a permanent bonus, which does allow for a little bit more customization between like characters, right? Because some people might choose one option, another person might choose a different option, which just means the range of builds and choices just multiply further from there. So with that in mind, let's look at the new heroic boon. So at 10th level, you can also get Cat's Pride. All your movement speeds increase by 10 feet, and you ignore bludgeoning damage caused by falling. In addition, as a bonus action, you can now take the dash action. So if you didn't already have bonus action dash, you now get it. All of your movement speed, so if you had a climbing, burrowing, swimming, whatever speed, that gets increased by 10. And also, you ignore bludgeoning damage caused by falling, which means that you can fall from whatever height and be really, really good at not getting hurt. And by really, really good, I mean you just don't get hurt. Unless there's some other kind of damage caused by the falling, like if you fell into lava or something like that. So, Salamander's Renewal is your other option. If you start your turn with at least 1 hit point, but below your maximum hit points, you gain 1d10 plus your Constitution modifier of temporary hit points. If you start your turn with any number of temporary hit points, you automatically recover hit points equal to the number of temporary hit points that you have. What? That's so good. In addition, if any of your limbs or non-vital body parts are severed, they grow back and become fully functional after 24 hours? That's wild, gang. That's wild, gang. Hello? Your magic lets you grow back limbs? That's wild. That's wild. Any of your limbs or non-vital... Wait, hold on. I gotta read that again. Any of your limbs are non-vital body parts, such as a finger, leg, tail, or similar. Okay, so they have to be an extremity. It can't be like an eye or something, because it doesn't say organ. It says body part, which is functionally different. Lends a new meaning to, hey, can you lend me a hand? But a Cure Wounds spell does that too, no? I don't think Cure Wounds in its base grows back a severed body part. Like, if you lose a finger, Cure Wounds doesn't bring back your finger. You need maybe a greater restoration, or I think you need very powerful magics usually. That's so cool. I'm not mad about this, to be clear. That's so cool. Which is like that's such a wild thing. Such a wild thing. But yeah, no, basically, so every turn you like you have like a very, gosh, that's such an interesting like passive healing. In like such a cool way of like, yeah. You get it as 10 hit points, and then at your next turn, and it just becomes, so if you start your turn, I'm trying to imagine what this looks like. You start your turn, you've got 1 hit point. Let's say you roll maximum and you have max con. So we're just saying 15, right? As the max you could get here. You started your turn, you have 1 hit point, 15 temp hit points. Start of your next turn, you have 16 hit points, 15 temp, assuming that you don't get hit. Because it feels like that's just kind of the thing. So you just kind of have this really interesting passive healing going on that is so cool. That's so cool. But cure wounds can cure to full health. Does that imply regrowing limbs? I personally don't read that as implying regrowing limbs, because I can view one as like losing a limb doesn't take away from your hit points, if that makes sense. Your hit points aren't just the number, like your health. It's a mixture of things, including like luck, exhaustion. Like it's like a whole bunch of things that are getting taken away over the course of like a conflict, a violent conflict. And you can get back to like top fighting shape even if you lose a limb, you know? Like you might lose some, right? But I don't think that those two things are those two things can be correlated. I don't think that they're causated, in that when you get full health, you get all your limbs back. I don't think that's how that works, at least not in my mind, right? And so, yeah. And I think it also specifically, like, says there is a specific spell for, like, growing back stuff. But that's wild. That's wild for Rangers at level 10. I love that. And then your epic boons at level 20, you get Deadeye. The extra damage dealt by your Mystic Mark becomes a D12. Ooh, that's nice. And you can now use Mystic Mark an unlimited number of times. Deadeye. Ooh, that's really nice. And then Ghost Step, you can now activate your Stalker's Step feature at any time, regardless of current environment, lighting conditions, and obscurement, and invisibility granted by the feature lasts up to 1 minute, though it still ends early if you attack or cast a spell. As part of the action, the bonus action used to become invisible, and as a bonus action on any subsequent turns you remain invisible, you can teleport up to 30. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's Ghost Step, the teleporting ranger. That's so cool. That's just awesome. I love these feel epic. These boons, these heroic and epic boons are so cool. And the way that they just kind of change the game a little bit. And you're just like, oh, whoa. I wasn't expecting to be here. Ghost Step Ranger? My Salamander Ghost Step Ranger? Oh my god, it's so good. Alright, so Arrowbinder. This is the subclass that Silent Sky is, and why we came to the Ranger. And then after, we're going to go talk about Mako and talk about the Kraken Barbarian. So, Arrowbinders are rangers who have melded their mastery of the wilds with their mastery of the bow. They channel primordial magic into their ammunition, unleashing spell and shot as one to defend the natural world from those that would despoil it. While most Arrowbinder rangers prefer bows, some swear by crossbows, or will use slings in a pinch. So, 3rd level, you get Arrowbinding casting spells, Bind Spell, and Trickster's Quiver. The spells that you get over the course of this are Grease at third, Thunder Burst, which is a new one, Stinger Spray, which is a new one, Blight, and Cloud Kill. Now, let's talk about Bind Spell. This is the core Arrowbinder feature. As an action, you can expend a slot to cast a primordial spell that you know into a ranged weapon you are holding and with which you are proficient. The spell isn't cast, but is instead bound into the weapon for 1 hour. You can have only one weapon bound in this way at a time. So you get one ranged weapon, one longbow, crossbow, whatever it is. You get one of them, you bind it with your magic. And if you bind another, the spell in the previous weapon fades, so on and so forth, right? So you get to choose one spell from your primordial spell list that you know. You bind it to the weapon. When you bind a spell into a ranged weapon, the spell must have a casting time of 1 action or bonus action, and it can't have a range of self, and must target a single creature or effect an area. So this is talking about Entangle, right? You can cast Entangle. You can't bind the giant insect spell to it. Because that's like a conjuration, like summoning of a thing. When you hit a target with a ranged attack using the bound ranged weapon as a bonus action, you activate the spell bound to it. Ending the binding effect and causing the spell's effect to trigger. A target of the attack becomes the target of the spell, makes any saves as normal. If the spell affects an area, the spell's effect is centered on a point of your choice within the target space. So you hit them, so on and so forth. But if they're a larger creature, they take up multiple areas, you can hit it and say at what point in their space it takes, if that makes sense. While you have a spell bound to a ranged weapon, ranged attacks you make with that weapon count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. It does burn a spell slot because you have to expend the spell slot in order to bind it to the weapon. Hank from the old cartoon shows Ranger. A little bit, yeah. And then you get Trickster's Quiver, where you imbue your ammunition with primordial magic as you fire. Once on your turn, when you hit a creature marked by your Mystic Mark feature with a ranged weapon attack, you can cause one of the following effects. Frost Shot. The target's speed is reduced by 10 feet until the end of its next turn. Shock Shot. The target can't take reactions until its next turn. Oh my goodness. Or Venom Shot, which are basically just like the 3 cantrips. Because you get, oh gosh, what is it? What's the ice one? Because this is Shocking Grasp. Gosh, what is it? Not Frost Blast. What is the ice cantrip again? I can't remember. And then Poison Spray for a Venom Shot. Attack deals poison damage instead of normal damage, and the target is poisoned until the end of its next turn. Beautiful. Love it. Regenerate. That's the spell. Thank you. Ray of Frost. Thank you. That was the one I was thinking of. And then at 7, so this is nice, right? You get another way to use your Mystic Mark, which is this instead of the damage? With the ranged weapon attack, you can cause, so you get the extra damage from Mystic Mark while also getting this additional effect, right? You get the Frost Shot, the Shock Shot, and the Venom Shot, which is beautiful. 7th level, you get Arrow Dance. When you make a ranged attack roll, you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll from being within 5 feet of a hostile creature. So you can hit people point blank, basically. Though you can still have disadvantage from other sources. When you hit a creature within 5 feet of you with a ranged weapon attack, it can't make an opportunity attack against you until the end of your next turn. Basically, this just lets you get real up close and personal, hit someone with your ranged attacks, so you can do the stuff like Venom Shot frost shot, shock shot, or any of your spells, and it work for you. Nice. This is just really nice and basically makes it so you can hit anyone at any range that you would like, except for like extreme ranges. Extremely far ranges, I mean. I suppose the bigger question on limbs is, when do you ever lose limbs? When you lose HP, you just lose HP. Yeah, there are some, basically it's kind of up to the GM, and there are some specific effects or some specific like optional ways to play, right? If you're playing with like the optional like long-term conditions or scarring or I don't remember what it's called in Tales of the Valiant. It's in the player's guide. I'm pretty sure, it's in the Game Master's guide. But essentially, there's like a optional rules that people add to the game where it's like, oh, if you get hit by like a critical hit, you can get like a long-standing like wound or like scar, like cutting off a limb or like leaving a scar or like plucking out an eye, all of that stuff. And that's usually when that stuff comes into play. But just like Unknown said, Sword of Sharpness is like one of the main ways you lose limbs. Lingering injuries, thank you. Okay, so Arrow Dance lets you hit people close up. Master's Quiver. You can now bind a spell into a ranged weapon as a bonus action instead of an action, and activating a bound spell after you hit a target with a ranged weapon attack now requires no action. Oh, interesting. Wait, so did it require? Hold on. When you bind a spell as an action, you do that. Cool. When you hit a target with it as a bonus action, you can activate. Okay. So for bind spell at level 3, you basically have to use both an action and a bonus action to hit someone and then let the spell go off. Which does mean that you can choose when you want to use it. You don't always have to use it. You have to use your bonus action to kind of activate it. Now, at 11th level, you no longer have to use that bonus action. You can just do it when you want. So you can use a bonus action for other stuff if that's what you desire. You can now also use your Trickster's Quiver feature against any creature you hit, not only those marked with your Mystic Mark, but you still use it only once on your turn. Ooh, like that. In addition, as an action, you can fire ammunition with your ranged weapon at a point you can see within your weapon's range and cause one of the following effects. Paw shot. Your shot interacts with an item within 1 foot of that point, as if you had taken the use object action on that item. This is letting you use your arrows to fire them at levers and let them pull levers. That's so fun. You just get like fun trick shot stuff. Smoke shot. A 5-foot radius sphere of smoke appears centered on that point. The smoke spreads around corners and its area is heavily obscured. The smoke dissipates at the start of your next turn. And then vine shot. A rope-like vine is now anchored to that point. The vine has the statistics of 100-foot length of rope and disappears after 1 hour. If you're within 100 feet of that point, you can choose for the other end of the vine to appear in your empty hand or be anchored on a point that you can see within 5 feet of you. Otherwise, the vine's length lies curled or dangling from the point where it appeared. You can make a vine in this way a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. 11th level Arrow Binder Ranger is just getting real deep in there with all of the utility at their disposal. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, finally, we have Counterfire at 15th level. When a creature you can see hits you with a ranged attack, you can make one ranged weapon attack against that creature, provided you're wielding a ranged weapon and the attacker is within your weapon's normal range. If you have a spell bound into your ranged weapon, you have advantage on the attack roll. Basically just saying, if someone hits you, you can attack them back. And This doesn't count as an opportunity attack because it doesn't say you can make an opportunity attack. It says you can make one ranged a weapon attack against them as long as you have a spell bound into your weapon. Or I'm sorry, you don't even need that. If you have a spell bound into your weapon, you just have advantage on that roll. That's great. You could just bam, bam, bam. Like anyone hitting you, you could just fire back at you. And it's not like an extra action. Oh, that's fun. I like that. Does this only work with actual arrows, or would it work with consumable ammunition, or would it also work with like energy arrows? That's a great question. You can fire, it just says fire ammunition. It doesn't say arrows or a specific kind of ammunition for your... Yeah, for the trickster's quiver. So you can use it for any. You can use it for any kind of ammunition. And also, the bind spell isn't specifically for bows. It's for ranged weapons. So whatever ranged weapon you've got, you can use it for. A ranged weapon that you're holding. So you can't use it like on a cannon, I don't think. But ask your GM. Who's to say? Yeah, counter fire doesn't even use your reaction. Exactly. Like, you can just keep doing that. That's great. Well, that is the arrow binder. And now we know more about Silent Sky. Thank you, Silent Sky, for being so cool. But you know who else is cool? Another one of our Valiant 6 whom we didn't get to talk about as I was away. Mako Knifejaw. I love Mako. Look at her. She's so cool. So, Mako Knifejaw. She is a goblin. She is a seafarer. And she is a smuggler. But she's also a kraken barbarian. The goblin lineage, new to Player's Guide 2. Seafarer heritage, new to Player's Guide 2. Smuggler background, new to Player's Guide 2. And Kraken Barbarian, new to Player's Guide 2. She is built from the ground up to be a Player's Guide 2 girly, and I love her. Look at that sword. Ugh, it's so cool. Okay, let's read. Mako Knifejaw has the magic of the ocean flowing through her veins. Born to a clan of seafaring goblins who sail aboard huge dwelling ships, Mako loves the water and everything about it. She also draws eldritch energy from the ocean's ceaseless forces, which grant her ferocious power in combat. She and her clan aboard the Shrewd Bargain pay homage to the chaotic sea god, Nethys, who wears the mask of a giant kraken. They make hopeful offerings in exchange for smooth passage and favorable trade, but like the sea, Mako's deity is unpredictable and capricious. Mako herself can be just as calm one moment and violent the next. Mako's family worked for several generations as merchants among the goblin tribes, and entering each port when their flotilla arrived in order to buy and sell the wondrous goods. As shrewd as her family was at managing the clan's profits, Mako herself was drawn to the exotic things not normally available in the markets across the world. A natural daredevil and unable to resist illicit trinkets, Mako began to practice smuggling anytime she reached dry land. She used her natural cunning and stealth to slip contraband from small treasures stolen from temples and estates to banned luxury goods prohibited between warring nations, aboard her vessel and into her quarters. Soon she has built up a solid network of contacts, fences, and informants for her operations. And when the law finally caught up to her, Mako came into her power. Betrayed by rival smugglers during a visit to a cosmopolitan port city, Mako found herself surrounded by a tightening net of city watch. Rather than surrender, Mako called on Nethys to save her, and the Kraken god answered her call. A wave of power granted by the strength of the ocean to match the power of her rage. She manifested 2 spectral kraken tentacles, battled her way free of the trap, and plunged into the harbor. Discovering that she could maneuver easily and without drowning, Mako slipped under the waves. She couldn't return to the Shrewd Bargain for fear of bringing her crimes down on their heads. Instead, she fled inland, where she now seeks retribution against those who betrayed her. Now, Mako has taken to traveling with a handful of new companions, the Valiant Six. She's as useful in the thick of battle as she is as quartermaster for unusual gear and supplies. She's content for now to wander in search of adventure, trinkets, and those who wronged her, but the call of the sea is powerful, and she longs to return to it and her clan when the job is done. Mako Knifejaw. Oh my god, I love her so much. Look at her, she's so cool. Let's figure out what her deal is. Get that out of here. There we go. Let's figure out what her deal is and go to the Kraken Barbarian. Kraken Barbarian. That's Bard. Barbarian. Okay, wait, first we have to go through the new boons. So, the heroic boons for the Barbarian are as follows. Blood Rage, or Bloody Rage. While you are raging, see the rage feature, any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage you deal with a weapon attack ignores resistance and immunities. Oh, that's so good. I mean, it says what it does what it says on the 10, gang. It cuts through immunities and resistances. The damage you deal is the damage you deal. Vengeful Rage. When a hostile creature damages you while you're raging, you have advantage on the first attack you make against that creature on your next turn. Beautiful. Which also, once you're at level 10, you have multi-attack, right? If multiple people hit you, you have advantage against all of those people. It's just your first attack that you make on that creature, right? So you can double up here and get some more bang for your buck. Nice and simple. It does what it says on a 10, and it's good. I don't know. It does what it says. All right, for Epic Boon, you get Mighty Champion. When you make a strength-based weapon attack with advantage and successfully hit, you automatically deal maximum damage with that attack. You can easily get advantage because I'm pretty sure the Barbarian has the feature that lets you, has a reckless attack feature. Pretty sure. So, you can make that happen easy. Next up, the Unbreakable Champion. When you enter a rage, you automatically heal a number of hit points equal to half your Constitution score and gain temporary hit points equal to your full Constitution score. Ooh, that's nice. You get a slow build heal, right? Slow passive healing. Well, I guess it's not passive healing. It's just like you basically like get a shield. There are parts of this that remind me of like abilities and stuff from some video games of like small heal, get a little bit of shield on top. Feels very. I love the gaminess of it, and it's there's an aspect of it that's really scratching parts of my brain that I really like. Okay, now we have to go down to Kraken Town. Amazing. Barbarians who travel the path of the Kraken manifest some aspect of the fearsome Leviathans, causing them to partially transform when they rage and take on the aspect of the sea-dwelling titans. At 3rd level, you get Deep Vision. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe water as if it were air. In addition, when you are submerged in water, you gain dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. And if you already have dark vision, this range increases by 30 feet while you are submerged. Conditional dark vision, I really like. It specifically works in water because you're just really good at looking into the ocean's depths. But also the ability to just swim and breathe. Like, oh, there's stuff like I love fictionally like what this could mean for a character and like how they just feel so at home in the water and how those aspects can like come out and like the role play material just from Deep Vision here is like so good. I think it's so good. All right, Kraken's Grasp. When you activate your rage feature, you call on your primordial connection to the Kraken. While raging, 2 spectral tentacles sprout from your body, and the tentacles count as melee weapons with which you are proficient. Each tentacle has a range of 10 feet. And they deal a d4 damage, but we're about to get to that. Oh, I didn't go down enough. As a bonus action, which can be a part of the same bonus action used to activate your rage, you can make up to 2 melee weapon attacks with the tentacles, 1 attack per tentacle. And on a successful hit, a tentacle deals a damage equal to 1d4 plus your strength modifier. And if the target is larger or smaller, that creature is also grappled. And they have to DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus and your strength modifier to escape. A tentacle can grapple only 1 target at a time, and if the tentacle is grappling a target, it makes attack against only that target. So basically, you can kind of like swing them around. When you use your tentacle to grasp and lift objects that weigh up to a number of pounds equal to your strength, okay, cool, and also perform simple tasks like opening unlocked containers, pushing doors open and close. Oh, that's so cool. So you can actually like kind of just use them as well. You could just use them as purely your weapons if you wanted to. Like, you could have a ranged weapon. You could be firing off your flintlock while these tentacles are going, and that's great. Yeah, that's sick. You can't use them for tasks that require manual precision, like wielding weapons, tools, activating magic items. And the base damage increases as you level up, becoming a d6 at 7th, d8 at 11th, and d10 at 15th. At 7th level, as well as the d6 going up, you also get the ink cloud move. As a bonus action, you can create a stationary inky black cloud in a 20-foot sphere centered on yourself. To other creatures, the area is heavily obscured, but you can see normally in it. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until you choose to end it. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and recover all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I love the flavor of the Kraken Barbarian so much, and just thinking about all of the ways that I would want to describe all of these abilities is... I want to play one. I gotta play Mako. If I don't play Mako, I will simply die. I will simply pass away. Genuinely. Oh, okay. 7th level, you also get Titan Grip. When a creature is successfully grappled by your tentacles, it becomes restrained until the grapple ends. In addition, when you take the attack action, you can use your tentacles to make any number of your attacks. Bang, 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 bang. Tentacle Fling. At 11th level, when you take the attack action, you can use 1 or more of your attacks to hurl a creature grappled by your tentacles up to 30 feet away from you. And when the creature lands, it is knocked prone. They're just getting better with these tentacles. And it takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for each 10 feet that it was thrown. If the target is thrown at another creature, that creature must make a dex save or be knocked prone. And they also take the same damage. And finally, at 15th level, when you reach, your reach with your tentacles is increased by 10 feet, going from 10 to 20. In addition, each time you use your bonus action to make a tentacle attack, you can make 1 additional tentacle attack as part of that bonus action. Yeah, there's just a certain point where you're just swinging. You're just swinging all of your tentacles around, and you're just bopping people. You're throwing, like, there is a chaotic nature to this that I really like, that you're just getting all of these attacks with these, and they're just like, they're grappling people, they're throwing them, they're slapping them. It's just like, ugh, it's so cool. So grappling them with the tentacles, an action, bonus action, or what? Grappling with them, you have to hit them with an attack. And then they become grappled. And then they can try to escape from there. Yeah, if you hit with a successful attack, and they are larger or smaller. Oh my goodness. This is I love the Kraken Barbarian. Like, this is the kind of barbarian I want to be playing. Just someone going in there like a whirling dervish bladed. It's it's so cool. I want to play. But, you know, with with Pirates and Plunder coming out soon, maybe I'll get a chance. Maybe I will get a chance. All right, everybody. Well, that is all I have for today. Don't forget to actually hold on. Get on over here. I would love to grapple with the bonus, pull them in, and then attack. That's good. Well, you can use the bonus action. Hold on. No, we're going back. Because you can use your bonus action to attack with them, right? And so it is as a bonus action, you can make up to 2 melee attacks. Yeah. So as a bonus action, you can attack, grapple, pull them in, and then use your attack to hit them. So that does work. God, the Kraken Barbarian just gets so many attacks. This is so cool. Yes. So the thing that you want to do is what you can do, in fact. Oh, okay. Wow. Get this out of here. Well, everybody. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. We were getting on. Thank you all so much for being here with me. Why is this? Hold on. Stop this. What is going on? Delete this. Thank you. Sorry, my PDF was doing something weird. Thank you all so much for being here. It has been an absolute joy. But now I must go back into the Warrens and prepare myself for Kobold Con in just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. And thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to check out the Kobold anniversary sale. Tell your friends. You get 50% off of a bunch of cool stuff from the years of history of Kobold Press. And don't forget to check back next week for it. And I will also see you next week for our next Tales of the Valiant 6 reveal and our final one before Kobold Con. So until then, don't forget to be bold, be brave, be valiant. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.